My advice for people who are trying to be CIOs is that it all comes down to people. I remember one time I sat down with another CIO, maybe, I don't know, must have been 10 years ago. And I asked him about all the decisions he made in his career, and it was a bunch of moves, and I thought they didn't make sense on the surface based on his resume. And he said, every decision I've made in my career is about following someone, not trying to go after a name brand necessarily, not trying to go after a job description. It's really to follow a person who believed in me. And I thought that was incredible because it really underscored this idea of, and it reminded me like something I thought about when I was an undergrad, which is, senior year, I realized, it's really about the professor. It's not necessarily about, you picked the really cool title or a really cool subject. The professor will make that course amazing, even if it has the most boring description. And so similarly, I think, trying to become a CIO is about having mentors and advocates in the room when you're not there, who understand what makes you special and why you deserve to eventually be a CIO. And if you align yourself with those folks who have conviction in you, who believe in you and your success, not only will you feel that, and it will help you be your best self, but it will also help lay the groundwork for you to potentially take over one day and people start to see you as a chief investment officer as well. One thing I do think aspiring CIOs should do is make time to sit down with other CIOs and pick their brains about what it's like to be a CIO, what they think of as what the job of CIO entails, pain points that they've had in their career, what is it like to interact with an investment committee, what's the decision-making structure, what have they learned over the course of their career. All those types of questions are one, people like to talk about themselves, so that's a great thing. So you can really form a relationship. And so that's first and foremost. But then secondly, being able to learn from that and incorporate that into the CIO you may one day be. One of the conversations I had with a then CIO maybe 7-ish years ago, and she talked about the importance of having conversations with your investment committee chair and bring them into a loop on your conversations. And when you first come into being a CIO, you want to ensure that people are clear on your investment philosophy. And she said, why is that, Justin? Well, if you don't want them to say 2 years down the line, why did you do such and such, or why didn't you do such and such? If it's clearly articulated in your investment philosophy, you want to talk about it up front, have the conversation about it, gain the buy-in, such that everyone knows and is aligned on why you will do something and why you won't do something. And that's critically important. So things like that really, really are helpful for the aspiring CIO.